Well, it says we are live. I assume we are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to a video that's been a few months in the making. To be honest, I probably would not have chosen to do this video now. Kind of wanted to wait for a few other things to be finalized. You know, the website's still got some things that need to be tweaked and fixed and updated a little bit. But the website is working. The foundation's open for business. We've already received a lot of donations. We've already approved applications for help. So because people are already talking about it and videos already being made about it, I guess it's the right time. Why not? I mean, this seems like a good time. So the name of the foundation is the SPTV Foundation. And I really thought that this was the perfect name to reflect a couple things. One, it reflects where the actual support for the foundation comes from. It always has come from you guys, the people who watch the YouTube channels of the former Scientologists, who promote now the SPTV Foundation, previously the Aftermath Foundation. You guys have always been the main support, the main financial support of the first foundation and now the second foundation. The main support does not come from former Scientologists. The main support does not come, and that's only because the number of former Scientologists is like tiny compared to the number of people there are in the world who watch the channels and the videos of former Scientologists. So it's just a statistical thing. It's not throwing shade on former Scientologists, because the truth is the former Scientology community does also provide an awful lot of support for the foundations. And also, I thought the SPTV Foundation was a perfect name because, well, let me see. How do I describe this? I want to describe it this way. When Luis Garcia and I were running the Aftermath Foundation, we did not make any differentiation between people who reached out to us personally or things that we did personally to help people who reached out to us personally. We did not differentiate between those things and people who reached out specifically to the foundation, because we considered there's no separation. We are the foundation. Now, one of our board members, George LaBanca, has over 30 years of experience working on nonprofit boards, including, I believe, almost 20 years working on the board of the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation. And he said they had a sign up in the offices of up in their offices that said, "We can accomplish anything as long as it doesn't matter who gets the credit." And I think that is an amazing motto. I don't know if that was their motto, but it's an amazing saying because that is how we viewed what we did. And I'm mentioning this thing about someone reaching out to a board member specifically for help, as opposed to reaching out to the foundation. Because in my eyes, how I look at this, what we want is for people to be reaching out to the board members. We want people who are leaving Scientology to be able to reach out to people they know. We don't necessarily want people to have to reach out to a faceless, I was going to say nameless, but obviously it's not a nameless foundation, but a faceless foundation that they don't even know who's running the thing like that. What makes more sense? That someone leaving Scientology is going to contact just some random organization that they have no idea who's affiliated with it and just ask for help from this faceless organization, or they're going to reach out to an actual person they used to know and trust and are comfortable asking for help. And so I wanted, and how does someone who's in Scientology and leaving Scientology, how does that person even become aware that one of their former friends is someone that they can reach out to and ask for help? One of the biggest ways, one of the biggest answers, the best answers to that question is because it's the people who are out there doing content, discussing Scientology, discussing experiences in Scientology, discussing the abuses of Scientology. And that's happening most impactfully on YouTube. And so it was my hope, and I'm glad that we were able to pull it together this way, that the board would be composed of, to the greatest extent possible, the SPTV creators who have the biggest reach and who are going to have the most content out there and who are going to be most likely to be the people that people who are on the way out of Scientology will want to reach out to. Because time and time again, and look, I've been walking this path for 6 years. I mean, me and Luis Garcia were running the Aftermath Foundation for 6 years, okay? Even people who ended up reaching out to the foundation proper, like meaning they reached out to the contact at email address instead of emailing someone individually. Inevitably, invariably, those reaches would include explanations of, I watched this person's channel, I watched that person's channel, I've been watching, these people are all watching YouTube. If they weren't watching YouTube, they would have no idea that these foundations even existed. There's quite literally no other way these people would know the foundations existed. And one of the other ways, honestly, other than just directly watching YouTube, is the people who are leaving Scientology or who are under the radar or Sea Org members, their friends and family members are watching YouTube. And so even if the Sea Org member who's leaving, it may not already be familiar with the videos or the foundation, their friends and family members do and are. And so it just made the most sense to me that in order for the foundation to have the greatest reach possible, have the most impact possible, not just in terms of raising funds for the foundation, but in terms of, I guess I want to use the word, getting reaches, getting contacts from people who know people that are leaving. You guys get what I'm saying. So the reach, both in terms of getting the information out and being able to get reaches back in. And that's why it's called the SPTV Foundation. I'm gonna go through the website. I'm gonna do a whole question and answer stuff, guys. So we're gonna go through the website. I'm gonna show you some of the stuff on there, answer some questions that I've already seen, and we're gonna. This is not a 15-minute video. This is probably like a 1-hour video. So buckle up, get your questions in, and I'll be tackling them. I don't have Barb in the back office starring stuff for me. Are you out there, Barb? Barb, if you're out there, jump into the back office. You can help me star some stuff. But otherwise, I'll try to do that myself. So here, let's take a look at this bad boy. Let's minimize my, okay, good. So this is the website, the SPTVfoundation.com. Now, actually, I have 4 URLs that all redirect to this website. I have the SPTVfoundation.org and .com, and I have SPTVfoundation.org and .com. But the one that I consider to be the main site is the SPTVfoundation.org. Okay, it says, our team is comprised of former Scientologists and advocates who uniquely understand the challenges of finding solid ground after leaving Scientology. Founded by Asmithlevin in 2024, the foundation represents a diverse group of individuals affiliated with SPTV. SPTV is a community of YouTubers dedicated to raising awareness about Scientology and highlighting its nuanced experiences and abuses. Each member of SPTV brings a unique perspective, and their diversity in personality and viewpoint is celebrated by their following. SPTV was created to empower ex-members, providing them with a platform to share their truths without having their stories misrepresented or taken advantage of by mainstream media and journalists with their own agenda. The SPTV Foundation adds an altruistic dimension by utilizing the SPTV platforms to raise funds for its programs. By the way, Jenna Miscavige has done all of the work on this website, so thank you very much, Jenna. And everyone who has been emailing me little ideas for tweaks and upgrades or changes to the website, I have just been forwarding them to Jenna. I got to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay, so let me introduce you to the board members. I am the president of the board, Christy Gordon, is the treasurer. Christy Gordon has the Children of Scientology channel. Mike Brown is the secretary. Of course, you guys know Mike Brown's channel is Mike Brown 101. Zach Morgan, my lawyer friend Zach, is on the board. The one and only Serge Delmar is on the board. You guys know Serge. His channel is Serge Delmar. Jenna Miscavige is on the board. Her channel is Jenna Miscavige. Liz Gale, you guys know Liz Gale. She's on the board. Dylan Gill, you can know him in the live chat as Blow Drill. He is on the board. My good friend George LaBanca, whose name is misspelled here. We'll get that corrected. Stat, Mr. LaBanca. George LaBanca. So Zach Morgan is Zach and George are the two non-Scientologists, never in Scientology members of the board. George has, like I said, 30 years of experience working on various boards and nonprofit boards. He's unbelievably well connected in the Tampa Bay area, in the business community and the media community and the nonprofit world. And through his work at the, I want to get the National Pediatric Cancer Society. I just want to say, yeah, he has experience raising millions upon millions of dollars for nonprofits, and he's a trusted friend of mine who is impervious to fair game tactics, which is very important when adding members to the board. So George LaBanca, you guys know him as Clearwater George, or Surrounded by Scientology is the name of his channel. The lovely Natalie Webster, everybody knows Natalie. Natalie is on the board as well. Sterling Tompkins, I'm glad we updated the photo. He sent Jenna a silly photo of himself, not realizing that Jenna was actually going to put it on the website. And I'm glad the good photo is up there now. Everyone knows Sterling. And Reese Quibble, Relatable Reese, is on the board, as is her dog Gertie, who was in fact born in the manger next to Jesus. That is a fact, everyone. That is true. Okay, so those are the board members. Let's see what else. I think, let me see. Okay, let's look at this page. This is the Get Help page. Looking for some help? We got you. Do you need help leaving Scientology? Are you an ex-Scientologist who's been slogging it out after leaving but needs the kind of helping hand and support you never got growing up? We are here for you. Please know that our goal is to help everyone. If there isn't enough to go around, we will prioritize someone who is homeless over someone who has a little more support in their lives. However, we offer many forms of support that go beyond funds, and we strongly encourage people to reapply. Absolutely everything in the application below is kept confidential and will never be shared. We understand how hard it can be to ask for help, so please forgive the many questions. Due to Scientology's fair game tactics, we have to be a little cautious. Okay, so this is an application form. I have some random thoughts that just occurred to me that I just wanted to share for the heck of it, just so that, sometimes I just like to explain my state of mind. Sometimes I've said that really the work that we do here is we raise money from people who want to help. We raise money for the purpose of helping people leave Scientology, and we put that money to work helping people leave Scientology. Everything else is just window dressing. A nice website, excellent, great to have. It'll get better. Just window dressing. Fundamentally speaking, the purpose of the website is for there to be a page where people can go to and click donate. Why am I saying that? There's an application form. But if someone emails a board member and says, I need help, this is the whole story, that's an application. It's good to have formality. It's good to have structure. It's good to have channels for things to go on. But all of that is just to make the job a little easier and a little more manageable. At the end of the day, we are people raising money to help other people. And then we figure out how to spend that money to help those people. It's not a complicated job. It's not a difficult job. It sure as hell isn't as hard as being on the RPF, as some people have described. It does not make the board members martyrs or elite members of the former Scientology community. Anybody can do this work. Doesn't make anybody special. Creating the foundation just provides a vehicle for people to donate to. So that vehicle can help people in private so that people don't have to beg for money in fundraisers on the internet. And of course, it's easier to raise money if you have a platform and you have eyeballs and you have an audience and you have reach. And that honestly was, as I've already kind of described, sort of the inspiration for making it the SPTV Foundation. And I guess I was just inspired to say that because, I'm showing you the website, I'm showing you the forms. These are just things that make the job a little bit easier. And if someone doesn't know how to reach a board member, they can always go to the website and that form will, you fill out the form and that form will automatically go to several board members. Yeah. Let me see. I did note down just a couple questions and then I'm going to look into the live chat for the questions. Oh, I think I answered this question in my first, my last live stream Q&A. And that is whether, does the name SPTV Foundation, would that be off-putting to someone looking to leave Scientology, looking to leave the Sea Org? Why would they want to reach out to SPs? Would that make them think twice or perhaps choose not to reach out to the foundation because it has SP in the name? My thoughts on that is no. Because even if the foundation was called the Loyal Officer OT Friends of L. Ron Hubbard Foundation, anyone reaching out to that foundation would already know that it was run by ex-Scientologists or people that Scientology has already declared a suppressive person. The name of the foundation is irrelevant it might as well, we could easily have called it the You're Definitely Going to Get Declared Foundation. I'll tell you, when people would reach out to the Aftermath Foundation, I can tell you, everyone I spoke with, and I was usually the person speaking with everyone who reached out to the foundation, I made sure they understood that it wasn't a decision they should take lightly. Like, if you accept help from the foundation, you're going to be declared. And we're not in the business of twisting arms or convincing people on what they should do and what decisions they should make in their lives, because those individuals are the ones who have to live with those decisions. We said, we're in the business of helping people who've already decided what they want to do, giving them the resources they need to do that. And so, like I said, we could call it the Loyal Officers Foundation, the Friends of LRH Foundation, or the You're Definitely Going to Be Declared and You Done Messed Up Foundation. It's irrelevant. By the time someone reaches out to either foundation, they already know who's running the show. They're already familiar with the videos. They're already familiar with the channels. And so really, the name of the foundation is more to honor the actual donors who support the foundation and is not actually... It faces you guys. It doesn't face the other direction of the Sea Org members or whatever. So yes, that's a good question. Oh, I've seen people saying, there's no phone number on the website. That's going to be added here probably by the end of the evening. Some other email addresses will be added to the website. If anyone's taking notes and you want to write it down, the phone number for the foundation is 727-266-5797. And, all the regular email addresses will be created as well. The contact @ email address, the volunteer @ email address, and things like that. But realize you can always reach out to your favorite SPTV creator who is on the board. And you can, that's why I love having so many board members who are all such public people and have audiences and platforms. And also everyone will have their SPTV Foundation email address. So Aaron at the SPTVfoundation.org, Serge at the SPTVfoundation.org, Christy at the SPTVfoundation.org. And it'll basically just be up to each creator to, mention the foundation whenever they want, promote the foundation however they want. Are we going to do fun little things where it's like 10 or 12 of us doing a live stream at the same time? Of course, that's just fun. That's just good times. But the other thing is, it's not necessary. Every channel can promote the foundation whenever they want, however they want. And that's the beauty of this thing. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this. Without giving numbers, the amount of support that has already come in from you guys just in the 2 or 3 days that people have like accidentally discovered that the website is live is mind-boggling. Honestly, it's incredible. And we've literally already approved applications for help, you guys. And this is the first time I'm even publicly talking about the foundation. So I couldn't be more excited about it. I feel like the last 3 or 4 months have all been worth it in a very, very major way. I've seen some questions about representation of the foundation in different countries. Guys, the internet is the great equalizer. Someone in Russia can call me and email me as easily as someone in Tampa. So whereas it would sort of be nice and cute and a little gimmicky to have like representatives in different areas and whatever, it's just totally unnecessary. In addition to board members, we'll have advisory committees and advisory boards and all this kind of stuff. And of course, just by default, there will be people from different locations and regions on those boards, but not even intentionally, just like, because it just honestly doesn't matter. I mean, what I'm saying is, in my opinion, it just doesn't actually matter. And also anyone in any region who wants, like, you don't have to be on the board to support the foundation in any way that one chooses. I guess it could make sense to have regional phone numbers. Like, if someone in the UK, you're not going to, I don't know. Maybe in the UK, it's hard to go just dial an American phone number. But I got to tell you guys, people leaving the Sea Org and leaving Scientology they're not picking up the phone and dialing a phone number and asking to be like urgently picked up. That's never happened. It doesn't happen. It's not a thing. And I'm not saying it could never, ever, ever be a thing, but we're talking about a 1 in a million chance there. People don't make those kind of decisions lightly or quickly or on an emergency basis. And, but that's fine. I guess I'm just, we can create regional phone numbers as needed. But guys, in 6 years, it's never been a thing, if you know what I mean. I mean, I think the Aftermath Foundation just added a UK number recently, and that was just to make apostate Alex happy. So yeah. Okay, let's see here. So there's some automatically, oh yeah, man, I don't have anyone here starting comments. This is going to be a shit show. Okay, guys, you know what? I'm going to start, instead of starting from the beginning and scrolling to present time, I'm going to start from present time and I'm going to scroll backwards. So if you have questions and you really want me to see them, make them now, because I'm going to go present time and I'm going to start scrolling backwards, and then I'm going to come back to present time. Okay, let's see, guys. And please put question or comment in there if you really want me to bring it up. I see this one. Is there a phone number? Yep, just answered that question a moment ago. I see Chow Yun Smut in the chat. Hey, Chow Yun Smut, how are you doing? I see Rabbit in the chat. Hey, Rabbit, good to see you. How you doing? Kimberly Stovall. I'm really verklempt over this. Aaron said he was going to do it, and he did it. Guys, I was pulling my hair out. As you can see, it's been a problem. It literally took like, I don't know, over 10 weeks for the state of Florida to approve this application. And that was like, it took them 9.5 weeks to tell me that it was rejected for missing signatures. And then I spent like a week waiting for the letter to arrive. I was like, how can I like, it took you guys 9 weeks. Like, you cashed my check like 8 weeks ago. And the letter just wouldn't arrive. I finally got someone on the phone and I said, look, I need you to put me on the phone with the person who disapproved. I need to get this resolved. Anyway, we were literally able to get it resolved in an hour. And then it took a few more days to get the banking set up. Maybe took a week to get the website in really good order. And yeah, so it was a whole lot of waiting. It was a whole lot of waiting. All right, let's see. I'm looking. Oh, we got Serge in the chat. Serge, how you doing? Good to see you. Is that mean, are you talking to Laura FM? Is Laura in the chat? Where's Laura? Force of delightful nature. It is so wonderful that you're all having fun while helping people. What a contrast from everyone's time in Scientology. Absolutely. We got to have a lot of fun. And that's the other thing. Like, it's easy to help people. It's not a deadly, serious, important activity. It's okay to have fun. There's a lot more I could say on that, but this is amazing. Congrats. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. Sassafras making t-shirts with iron-on SPTV Foundation phone number. I love it. Okay. So this is like printed as if it was in a mirror, right? M-A-C. Oh, McPigeon. It's McPigeon. You made war, Balaki. Yes, indeed. Jojo L. T-shirts for the protesters to advertise. Walking billboards. That is awesome. Laura Font, do you have therapists, counselors, trauma-informed people as advisory? Excellent question. And that is actually the most important question. Because when it comes to expertise, that is the number one area of expertise that is actually needed in helping people who are leaving Scientology or who have been out for a while and are still suffering the effects of having been in or grown up in it. It is very easy to think and believe, especially since we were sort of conditioned to think this way, that we already know all about everything, especially how to help. And the truth is, and this is a phrase that gets used a lot and has to do with the trauma-informed response. And I'll tell you, your average Scientologist who doesn't know anything but their Scientology experience has no clue what trauma-informed response even means in a practical sense. And I include myself in that bucket, believe me. And that is why the answer to your question is yes. And it really is the most important thing to get right. Because let's be honest, other than helping someone with life logistics, a place to live, transportation, a job, a resume, that kind of stuff. The main kind of help that I think you find most often people need has to do with help surrounding trauma. And Scientology doesn't teach you how to do that. So thank you for the question. And the answer is absolutely yes. All right. Scrolling up. Serge Del Mar says, thank you all for your support. Guys, the other thing that we're going to have a lot of fun with is different ways to raise funds. And you guys know that, for me, YouTube fundraising is like all we need. It's the be all, it's the end all. And, I tend to focus on my strengths. But, Serge Del Mar does a lot of art projects. And I can tell you, we will almost certainly be doing some sort of art or fashion-based fundraising events out in, Hollywood, out here in Tampa. In fact, that's one of the things that my friend George LeBanca has a lot of experience with, is these type of events, particularly with fashion and art. So don't be surprised to see Serge and George LeBanca organizing an event sometime soon. It's going to be the absolute best. All right, let's see. I'm jumping to the front and then scrolling back. Oh, Jessica Worth. How can I become a board member? I love what you stand for. Well, we're not going to be adding more board members for the foreseeable future. But we are forming advisory committees. And so, Jessica, if you're interested in helping in some way in that regard, go ahead and email me. For now, you can email me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. And yeah, simple answer to that question. Thank you very much. Let me see. Oh, SP is asking, are you creating a new list for those that want to help? The answer is yes. I was the one managing the volunteer list for the Aftermath Foundation. So obviously I have that list. I wouldn't want to assume that everyone on that list. What I might do is email that list and just ask everyone to say either ask to stay on or ask to be removed, and then we'll build from there. But if you're not sure if you were on that list or whatever, yes, the answer is yes. Oh, that's one of the things that I think just needs to be tweaked on the website. I don't think the volunteer email address is not on here. And I think we'll also put the volunteer form. There'll be a built-in form on the website for all the fields that we need information on for people who want to be on the volunteer list. So the answer to that is yes. So just stay tuned for that. Summer Savage, we're gonna need merch. This gets a little complicated, actually, because obviously the SPTV channels have their own channel merch. And we don't want to get that confused with foundation merch. The way the Aftermath Foundation handled that was Mark created just a completely separate company, which was the SP shop, the SP, what was it? The SP shop. And because it's a real problem if you get the nonprofit organization involved in having to collect sales taxes and stuff. Bad idea. You don't want to do that. You want to stay away from that completely. And so what happened is all the merch was sold through the SP shop, and then the proceeds were donated from the SP shop to the Aftermath Foundation to keep both activities totally separate. So I do not have any specific plans to create SPTV Foundation merch. But that's only because I can't personally envision an easy way to do that. I'm sure someone else has a much better, if anyone else has an idea and wants to do that, I'm all for it, but it's not something I'm like trying to do. But thank you for that question. Let me see. Joshua Cox, are you using lessons learned from your time at the Aftermath Foundation? Well, that would be inevitable. Yes, indeed. You know, I've seen a lot of people. Obviously, there's been a lot of, you might say, drama surrounding the Aftermath Foundation since November. I've seen people fiercely declaring, oh, the Aftermath Foundation is doing great work, and they're the only ones doing the great work. Guys, the Aftermath Foundation's always done great work. The Aftermath Foundation didn't start doing great work in November. The Aftermath Foundation has always done great work. It's very easy. Like I said, it's a very easy job. You collect money to help people who are leaving Scientology or people who've already left Scientology, and then you put that money to use. It's not complicated. Things only got complicated at the Aftermath Foundation when certain people decided they wanted to personally take credit for things that the Aftermath Foundation was doing. And that's when it got complicated. So one of the, I do believe that we have a team that really doesn't care about taking the credit onto themselves. And also having a very big board is part of the lessons learned from the Aftermath Foundation. So thank you very much for the question. That's me, Gigi. I have mad respect for you. You've shown that you really want to help people, and that is what matters. I will always support you. Thank you, Gigi. Thank you very much. Diaz Kitty, well done on the website, and congratulations on getting the foundation up and running. You have my support. Thank you so much. Oh, that's right. There's also not a mailing address on the website. Anyone who would rather send a check, which I did get a phone call today asking that, just email me. Again, for now, just email me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. And the other email addresses are set up, but I haven't programmed it to make sure it comes to my phone, and I just don't want to miss emails. So if someone wants the mailing address, just email me, growingupinscientology@gmail.com, and I'll give you the mailing address. Thank you so very, very much. Okay, I'm going to skip to the front again. Let's see. Marissa says, maybe instead of merch, awareness protest items. Maybe instead of merch, awareness protest items, car magnets, bumper stickers, etc., for donation instead of sales tax. I see what you're saying. And I remember we had this sort of conversation when it came to the Aftermath Foundation of maybe it's recommended donation instead of sales tax. You do not want to be anywhere on that fine line of violating any sales tax stuff. So look, I mean, Other people, see, here's the thing. Every idea I have, I can think of the complications. Like, other people are free to create items that promote the SPTV Foundation and sell those items. And I guess where people might get criticized for that is if other people are profiting off of selling merch items that promote the SPTV Foundation. You could get around that by not profiting and just doing it at cost, but then you have people going to question whether someone's really doing it at cost or not. It just doesn't have to be that complicated. Like, until and if there ever is a merch store that exists for supporting the SPTV Foundation, until that happens, guys, feel free to make and sell or donate all the SPTV Foundation merch that you want. Maybe just don't maybe just don't promise that the profits are going to go to the foundation, because you're not under any obligation to give the profits to the foundation. Anyway, I'm just it doesn't really matter. Do whatever you guys want. We're here to raise money to help people who are leaving Scientology, and we're here to put that money to use. Everything else is just window dressing. And I don't want to put a kibosh on people doing things that they're doing to help the foundation or help spread the word. We're not going to be cracking down on people selling SPTV Foundation car magnets or something like that. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. Oh, there was another one that I missed it. Lethanda Grauklinger. So good to see you in here, Lethanda. I don't have the words to express how excited I am about the SPTV Foundation. A group of people who are truly trustworthy. So much love coming from the board. I really can't tell you how excited I am to have this whole thing up and running. I mean, it is, to say this is a new chapter is just such an understatement. It is such a relief. It feels so good to have something positive to channel efforts and attention into. It's been a very noisy and raucous number of months, and I feel like a lot of that noise is perhaps behind us. I hope, yeah. Thank you, Lethanda. All right, let's see. Oh, there was another one. This comment reminded me of what I'm about to say. Trailblazer Laura, I'd like to know what the limit is on charitable contributions. Will the website have an option where we can get this info? Well, there is no limit on charitable contributions. You're talking about something more like a political campaign where there's actually a maximum donation. There's no maximum donations when it comes to donating to charities. I've seen the question, and Jenna told me that the one thing she still had to set up on the website was the option to select an option to make a monthly donation. That's a piece of cake. It just needs to be done, and that'll be done soon. I received several emails about that. Thank you for the question, Trailblazer Laura. I appreciate it. And Scientology Trigger says, have an SPTV rescue vans circle Big Blue and flag. I would not be surprised to see DOA repaint his van to be an SPTV rescue van. Or to one day see someone get one of these dolphin vans that the Sea Org uses all the time and get it wrapped in like SPTV rescue van. I can think of all the reasons why people would complain about it. Like, people would go, well, you're sort of teasing the Sea Org members when, your purpose would be to help those Sea Org members escape. Guys, people who are like dedicated Sea Org members are honestly not the people the foundation is looking to reach. There's a certain percentage of Sea Org members and staff members and Scientologists who do not want to be there anymore. And those are the ones the foundation wants to reach. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. Yes, that would be funny. Okay, let's see. Hide this one. Oh, I see Nora in the chat, or I see people talking to Nora, but I don't see Nora yet. Corinne Furtkamp. Karen Furtkamp. Will it help others than people from the USA, Canada, etc.? Oh, it's worldwide. It's absolutely worldwide. I mean, even you know, in the years that Luis and I were running the Aftermath Foundation, we helped people in Canada, in Mexico, in South Africa, in Australia, in the UK, in Switzerland, and I'm sure I'm missing some, but just to give you an idea, like you can help someone anywhere. You don't need to be physically located in that area. And I got to tell you, every under the radar Scientologist in the world is watching SPTV videos. Period. It's why they're under the radar. Actually, I'm not quite sure how the chicken and the egg problem is solved on this one. They probably, by definition, almost became under the radar the first time they stumbled upon some SPTV videos. But watching the SPT videos makes them even more under the radar and more committed to not believing in Scientology anymore. And someone who's mentally under the radar, what they're going to do is they start looking for old friends, or they start looking on the internet, and what they instantly find is SPTV videos and SPTV creators and channels. So, yeah. It's why I got so excited at the idea of having so many board members who all have YouTube channels. Every under the radar Scientologist in the world knows of one of the 12 board members of the SPTV Foundation. And it's one of the reasons, the other benefit to having so many board members is you don't have to like us all. Maybe you like just one. And maybe that's the person that your family, that the person's family members watch that person's channel. And when they hear the person wants to leave, that's the board member they'll reach out to be like, hey, you've mentioned the foundation. We got a family member who's getting ready to leave. Can we get your help? It's just awesome. So the simple answer is yes. All right, let's see here. Oh my goodness. Marissa says, I talk about SPTV in therapy. My therapist mentioned she knew a group of under the radar Scientologists that may need help. I said, tell them to go to YouTube. That is awesome. Jenny gets chatty. The rescue vans could play music like the ice cream trucks and a megaphone and visit Scientology sites. Yes. Well, I can tell you the foundation won't be buying any vans for that. And they shouldn't be SPTV Foundation vans. But I mean, I'm thinking of something that would just be like protest vans. I mean, DOA already basically has a protest van. DOA already has like exactly what you're talking about. And as long as there's vans like that that are doing stuff like that, and then like talking about the foundation, I think that's cool. They wouldn't be like foundation vans doing it for that purpose. But I really do like the idea of more DOA style vans doing something like that. Stardust, SPTV Foundation, woohoo! Great job. I'm so happy there are options out there for people needing help. Yeah, I guess I've been a little negligent in I guess reiterating that if you want to donate to the foundation, the easiest and best way to do that is to go to the sptvfoundation.org, click the donate button, and yeah, you can just donate right there. As soon as people discovered the website was live, the donations started coming in, and it's been overwhelming, you guys. So that was before anybody even started talking about it. I mean, I'm guessing maybe it's been being mentioned in the live chats of various videos. I know Kelly Copter did a 1-hour video about it this morning. That was undoubtedly one of the reasons so many donations came in today. And I was like, what am I waiting for? Is there really any reason for me to wait any longer? Let's just do it. So, and thank you, Kelly, for that video. That was very nice of you. And it did bring in a lot of donations. So it's fantastic. Barb, you're accidentally commenting as me in the live stream again. Oh, Barb's in the back office of my StreamYard. Oh my God. Okay, Lauren Todd, do you have a strict ethics protocol? I hope with all the SPs around here, y'all are gonna need it. We very much do not have a strict ethics protocol. We are not going to repeat the mistakes of the Aftermath Foundation. Now, and you might go, how could it be a mistake to have an ethics protocol? The mistake is thinking that you're anything special at all. The mistake is thinking that you are special, or that you need to pretend to be special, or that anyone expects you to be special, or that there's any benefit to acting like you're special or better than anyone else. No one gives a shit. Like I said, we're here to raise money, and we're here to spend the money. Nobody gives a shit about anything else. And, you know, one of the things I like about all our board members is I like the fact that we have a board composed of people who are even known to not necessarily get along. That's okay. There is no benefit and no virtue to acting like or pretending like this thing needs to be perfect and beautiful in order to work. It doesn't. We are imperfect people raising money to help other imperfect people, and putting that money to work to help those imperfect people get on with their lives in whatever way that they choose. So I know you're kind of joking, Lauren, but thank you for the question. Love Maddie says, yes, it was mentioned, and I donated yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday, and maybe a little bit of the day before donations started trickling in. And that's when I started getting messages from people like, the new website looks great. And I'm like, who the hell, how does anyone know about the website? And I guess some people were just looking out for the website. Let me see. Does the foundation accept collect calls? I don't know. Do people still make collect calls? I think there's a little bit of an exaggerated idea of what it means when someone leaves Scientology or even blows or whatever. But I got to tell you, Peace Lady, test it for me. The phone number is, don't do it now. Wait until tomorrow. The phone number is 727-266-5797. Try to call it collect and see what happens. I mean, I hope we don't get collect calls from prison from Danny Masterson or something. That would not be comfortable. Maybe Prison Danny can talk to Prison Danny. I don't know. Do people make collect calls? Is that a thing? Can you still do that? I don't know. I thought collect calls went out with pay telephones, guys. But what do I know? I grew up in a cult, you guys. All right, let's see. Phoenix says adding bios for the board members would be great, so people know a bit about the board members' backgrounds, experience, and qualifications. That's not a bad idea. I reject the idea that there are qualifications to be on the board. The only qualifications are that, well, the main qualification is that you are completely impervious to fair gaming by Scientology. Otherwise, the people that are on the board because they have reach on YouTube through their channels as a part of what they do in their advocacy on their channels. And anyway, I don't mean to read too much in your into your comment there. I think bios are a great idea, so we'll try to get that together. Thank you very, very much. What's this? Justice says, great that all the board members have a YouTube channel. Only be aware, no more Reese situations. I don't know what that means. I feel like you're joking, but I don't know what the joke is. Only be aware. I don't know what that means. That's going over my head. Apologies, Justice. I apologize, but I'm not sure I get it. Let's see. Oh, Phoenix. I think it should be made clear on the foundation website that there is no requirement for recipients to appear on any SPTV platforms in order to receive assistance. Well, of course there isn't, but I just, my hesitancy on being like, yes, that's a great idea, is that I don't think someone looking to leave Scientology is going to be reading the website and going, now hold on, what does it say here about, X, Y, about that? I mean, of course, there is no requirement. That'd be like saying that the Aftermath Foundation needs to have a disclaimer that, getting help doesn't require you to be on Leah Remini's next podcast or next TV show. Like, it's kind of irrelevant. But to answer your question, of course, there's no requirement. I'm not sure I agree that it's necessary to be on the website. I'm glad that you're asking the question. I'm just not sure it's necessary to be on the website, but maybe it's not a bad idea. We'll talk about it. Oh, Laura, Reese shit show Asian doxing your sources. Oh, well, thank you, Laura. Thank you, Laura, for bringing it up. Yes. What was the earlier comment? Oh, no more Reese situations. Oh, yes. I mean, the other thing I'll tell you, that had nothing to do with the Aftermath Foundation. Yeah, that had nothing to do with the Aftermath Foundation. I'd been talking to Reese for 6 to 12 months or whatever. But yes, thank you. Yeah, that was a very not valuable contribution to the conversation, but thank you. I appreciate that. Shots fired. All right, let's see. Blake Reed says, Aaron, you and the others never cease to inspire me. What you all have formed is truly a beacon of hope. I hope you will continue to make us proud. Well, thank you, Blake, and thank you for all of your support. Honestly, you've been around for a long time, and you've supported everyone in a lot of ways. So thank you for your support, and we will definitely continue to make you proud. Rachel XOXO UK, please don't forget why we're all here. I feel a few channels' egos have exploded and have forgotten. I don't know who you're talking about, but I think we all do know why we're here. And the truth is, one of the things I'm excited to have this foundation going. One of the things that was so fun to be able to use the channel previously to promote the Aftermath Foundation is it does give a much greater, overriding, and meaningful purpose to even having a presence on YouTube. It's not. It's just undeniable. It just is. Every now and then you'll hear people throw shade at certain YouTube channels for, wanting to have viewers and clicks. Like, it's kind of like complaining that an author wants to sell books. It's like, but if anyone wants to be like, how dare that channel work to expand their viewership and subscriber base, it's like, well, yeah, if part of the purpose of doing that is to get as much exposure as possible for the organization and now organizations that are doing everything possible to make it as easy as possible to leave Scientology, then I would almost turn it around. Like, why aren't you trying to expand your reach and grow your channel and get the good word out? I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, but I think we all do know why we're here. And I think, given the rift that has existed since November, I guess one could say that there has been an awful lot of effort and energy and attention that has not been able to be channeled in a way that was actually going to continue to help people leave Scientology. And now that we have two organizations that I think it's probably fair to say almost everybody in our, community of former Scientologists or SPTV community in general, and that includes you viewers, not just the creators. I think it's safe to say that with the two organizations, pretty much everyone in the community would want to support at least one of them. and that would even be more true if other organizations propped up, that now everyone, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'm just telling you how I feel. Everyone does have something they can do and to channel their efforts and their enthusiasm and their energy and their power into actually for real helping people, as many people as possible, leave Scientology as fast as possible. And that is what it means to be David Miscavige's worst nightmare, you guys. So thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. Oh, let's see. Lathanda Grauklinger, could you provide files with the logo, phone number, catchphrase, and such so people can create their own t-shirts, bumper stickers, and protest signs? Honest answer, Lathanda. I will almost certainly become the bottleneck on this if I say yes. I can almost promise you that whoever does that thing you're asking for will not be me. And if I say it will be, I will be the reason it doesn't get done. So I guess I'm just going to ask anybody out there to create print-ready files with the SPTV logo, the phone number, the catchphrase. And the catchphrase is, what, every day's a great day not to be in a cult? That's the only one that comes to mind, you guys. Is there another catchphrase? Please, anybody, feel free to put this together and send it to me, or send it to your favorite SPTV creator or your favorite SPTV board, SPTV Foundation board member, and we'll distribute these things the best way that we can. But it just won't be. I just promise you, it won't be me. I'm barely reading my emails, Latana. Let's see. Sassafras says, I called the Aftermath Foundation phone number tonight, and the answering operator message started with, "This call is being recorded." That could be off-putting. I don't know what that's about. They must be using a different service. When I was with the Aftermath Foundation, we just used Google Voice. They must be using some different service now. That's not what we use. The Fat Hipster, you could sell window decals that say SPTV Rescue Van. I give anybody out there permission to make their own window decals and sell them in their merch store. It's totally, totally okay. People who are going to support the Aftermath Foundation are going to donate to the Aftermath Foundation. I was never a big fan of raising money for the foundation by selling merch. I know it's a good I know it's a good idea. I know it works. I know people love merch. It just never seemed to me to be a good, efficient use of money. Like, if you spend $40 on a bobblehead, what is $5 of those dollars? Is 10 of those dollars going to the foundation? I don't know. What if all $40 went to the foundation? So I guess my point is this. I'm totally comfortable with people who want to support the foundation, donate to the foundation, and people who want to buy foundation-related merch, buy it from anyone. And if any very enterprising, ambitious person out there, even if it's one of the other SPTV board members, wants to create a merch store like Mark did for the Aftermath Foundation, please do. I just don't want to have anything to do with it because I will be the bottleneck. Thank you, Fat Hipster. Great to see you in here. Let's see. Oh, this is nice. Love Maddie. Someone from Sweden volunteered themselves as a translator for the new foundation the other day. That would be a good idea to get others like them to help with that. That is a good idea. Now, everybody in Sweden also speaks English. I think everybody in Scandinavia speaks English, but I'm all for Swedish translations. No objection from me. Lethanda Grauklinger. Ethics protocol for SPTV Foundation. 1, be kind. 2, enjoy helping people. 3, have fun collecting money. 4, don't take yourself too seriously. And be a dick swinger. Oh, I love it, Lethanda. Thank you very much. Just a Girl and Her Cat says, my friend is a radio DJ. Prisoners would use collect calls to call in and make requests in the few seconds you have to give the name of who is calling. Oh my God, that is absolutely amazing. That is great. Okay, let me pull this up. How can we help for what happens next? Those out there committed to a larger assistance than the internet media alone. I genuinely am not sure that I understand what this question is asking. How can we help for what happens next? Those out there committed to a larger assistance. Oy, I apologize. I don't know what the question is. Try again, possibly. I'm just not sure. Okay. George Massey, will Gertie be available to provide counseling for declared suppressive pups? Has she spoken to Goliath and did it help? We do have to get Gertie and Goliath and Foxy and George's dog together one of these days. George, I'm embarrassed. I forgot the name of your dog. I'm so embarrassed. But yes, all 4 wonderful dogs. And they can, have a group counseling session for suppressive puppies. Okay, let's see. Skywriter 40, do you have a running count of donations to date? So I was thinking about this today. The entire time Luis and I were running the Aftermath Foundation, never once did we ever announce how much funds were on hand. And I don't remember the reason why, other than it just seems like bad form. Now, all nonprofits have paperwork they file every year with, GuideStar. Or is it GuideStar just pulls the information? Anyway, you file the information with the IRS. It's the IRS. You file the information with the IRS. You also file information with all the states that require the registrations annually. So you've got, the balance sheets and the income statements and all that stuff. So I think what we had settled on is there's no reason to disclose more information than is required to be disclosed. And the information that's required to be disclosed is public. And that's all the information that should be disclosed. I do feel like it is prudent to follow those same guidelines with this foundation. Like, I mean, you know me, guys. I like talking about everything. I'd love coming on here every month and being like, guys, we raised $50K this month. This is how much we have on hand. But I can also think of downsides to that. Do you really want people out there tracking every time the funds on hand go up or down, and who was helped and how much money was spent on that person, and did this person get more money spent on them than that person, and all that kind of weird stuff? I don't love it. It seems prudent to just disclose what has to be disclosed publicly and leave it at that. It's not like the fundraisers where, on a fundraiser, you keep a running count of what was donated. And I think even when we did the fundraiser last month for Miriam, we weren't able to keep a running count because all the donations are being done through PayPal. But then after the fact, it was announced how much was raised. Here's one answer to your question. When we get to the point where we're doing our YouTube live stream fundraisers, where you're literally just donating on YouTube, like you just press the donate button on YouTube, those fundraisers do have a running count of how much money is raised on those fundraisers. What you don't then see is, okay, what is the updated bank account balance? You don't see that, but you do see, and I like doing the fundraisers where you can see how much was raised on the fundraisers. That is what we will do. But that's a future thing. So thank you for the question, Skywriter 140. Okay, good. Question, are donations tax deductible? The answer is they will be. One of the reasons I am considering this a soft launch of the foundation, and one of the reasons I wasn't in a rush to get out here and promote it and talk about it, is because we still need to get the 501c3 status from the IRS. Now, once that status is conferred, it's conferred retroactively to the date, either to the date of the creation of the foundation or to the first of the year. No, to the date of the creation of the foundation, because I think the creation date was January 11th. So, and we have the list of all the donors. When you donate through the website, it goes to our payment processor is Stripe, and we have your email, all the information that you provide for the payment. When we get the determination letter from the IRS, we will post the applicable information on the website that you'll need at the end of the year to claim it as a tax deduction. So thank you for the question. Very, very important. Oh, Gretchen only. Aaron, this is truly amazing. I'm a psychologist in California, and would be happy to volunteer to consult the board about trauma-informed therapy and therapists. That's amazing. And the more mental health professionals willing to consult. In fact, we'll probably have an entire advisory committee dedicated just for the professionals to talk amongst themselves. We already do have a list of professionals who've offered that help, and my point here is the more the merrier. So, Gretchen, please email me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com, and that's a very generous offer. So, thank you very much. All righty. Let's see. Thank you. Barb is now in the back starring things for me. Thank you, Barb. You're doing a fantastic job. The Scientology Watcher. Question. The phone number is a United States phone number. How do people from other countries get in contact? The easiest answer is email. Email, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I mean, you know, like get in touch through YouTube. But I guess it is a good point. There is a reason, I guess, to have phone numbers for different geographical regions. I guess it just seems like it's just so easy to call people these days. Signal, WhatsApp, FaceTime. You can make phone calls through Facebook now. You can make phone calls through Twitter. So those are my answers. But we'll almost certainly come up with other phone numbers. Realize, guys, Scientology is very small. And just saying, like, there might be entire countries where there's only 100 Scientologists. But we'll have some additional phone numbers. Let's see. Kim Millen? I donated today, but do we have an ETA for when the monthly donation option will be available? Kim, I'd be shocked if the monthly donation option wasn't available by tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I'll give it 2 days. But it's a relatively simple thing, and it just needs to be done. So sorry that it's not already done. What? Ingrid K says DOA is being handcuffed right now. That's incredible. Not again. Not again. I'll have to go check that out after we're done with this stream here. Thank you, Ingrid. Let's see. Buffy Summers. Hi, Aaron. Normally I lurk, but lately I've been stepping out of my shell. Congratulations on your new foundation. Today is my birthday. May I get a happy birthday from you? Happy birthday, Buffy Summers. Now, your photo to me looks very much like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but is that just a coincidence? Am I just being brainwashed by your name? That really looks like Sarah Michelle Gellar. That is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Or is that Christy Swanson? Which Buffy is that? Did you know I was in an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Halloween episode 1999. Indeed. Cricket says, question. I just want to say congratulations. Thank you, Cricket. I appreciate it. What in the world? Welderman. Oh. I thought I misread this for a second. Permission to put the foundation's phone number on my car advertisement. Yeah, why not? Go for it. It can't hurt. Phoebe, are you only helping people get out of Scientology? Or are you helping anyone who's coming out of a high demand religion? Thank you for the question, Phoebe. No, we've got to stick to Scientology. We have to stick to Scientology. First of all, we got to stick to what we know. We got to stick with our strengths. If we spread ourselves too thin, it's gonna make us less effective. Also, there's no way to ensure that we would have enough resources to help. We need to make sure we have enough resources to help the people we want to help. And God, if we spread it out to all high demand groups or cults or religions, man, I mean, could you even imagine? Could you even imagine how we would be inundated? So, it's an interesting like academic or thought exercise to be like, how much funds would we need to have before we would go, this is way more than we think we could ever put to use helping Scientologists, and it's time to expand or open up, go a little broader. I don't even know what that number would be, but that would be a fun conversation to have with the board. Because, I mean, guys, look, the audience, the potential audience on YouTube is massive. And I would like to have that problem where it's like, guys, I'm not sure. I think we got too much money. And be like, what other group can we help? Now, let's be honest. There's two groups that I always hear mentioned most often with former Scientologists. No offense to these two groups. I know there's a lot of Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses that are big fans of SPTV. I'm just saying honestly that former Mormons and former Jehovah's Witnesses seem to most closely identify with former Scientologists more, probably just because of the sheer numbers of them. I mean, there's probably 1,000 times more former Mormons and former JWs than there are former Scientologists. So just statistically speaking, those are the former group members that I hear of most and who contact me the most, connecting with the stories of former Scientologists. But then you have people who are in other cults like Marilyn Honig. Like hers is like, that's another cult, not Jehovah's Witnesses, not the Mormons. So like, oh, why did I mention them? Oh, because it seems like the natural, if we were to open it up to other groups, it seems like would be like, okay, are we going former JWs now? Are we going former Mormons now? Now that I mentioned it, guys, there's like 10 million Mormons. So how many former Mormons must there be? And shouldn't there already be a pretty well-known organization staffed by former Mormons doing the same thing for people leaving Mormonism as these foundations do for people leaving Scientology? There actually used to be one. I think that there actually was a woman who I would refer people to, because the Aftermath Foundation would get contacted by former JWs. And there was actually a woman who had an organization similar to the Aftermath Foundation, but for JWs that I referred many people to. I do not remember hearing of a similar organization for former Mormons. But if there are organizations that exist, how fun would it be to do chats with those people who run those organizations? Oh, that is a really good idea. So for now, Phoebe, it's just Scientology. Huzzah, it's huzzah. Huzzah, it's huzzah. Your ability to bounce back stronger and better than ever is truly a thing to be inspired by. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you, huzzah. I really appreciate it. Angelina says, the website isn't mobile phone friendly. Well, Angela, I've been accessing the website on my mobile phone all day, but maybe I am not technically literate enough to recognize when a website is not properly formatted for mobile. I don't know, Angelina, but we'll check it out. Like I said, we're here to raise the money. We're here to spend the money, and everything else is window dressing. So we'll get any problems with the website sorted out in due time. But thank you for bringing it up to me. Poe on the go, Mr. John Poe. Poe was in Clearwater recently, and we got to hang out and spend some good time. Growing up in Scientology, so wanting to have a chat-a-thon for the SPTV. Feel free. Or you could either do it whenever you want, or you might want to wait till we have the YouTube donation set up. But either way, there's no reason to wait. Do whatever you want. You can do it. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Here, I'm going to put this here just so I don't forget it. My hubby, Brisby Tales, is for some reason blocked from your channel. Can the moderators research? The problem is, I think moderators can block profiles. I don't think they have the access needed to unblock profiles. And I've received a whole bunch of emails from people who have been blocked mistakenly and want to be unblocked. And I've been the bottleneck on not going back in there. Because, guys, when you look at the blocked list, you'd think that you could just like search it. You think YouTube would be like, okay, search for this name. No. You think the names would be in alphabetical order? No. You think they'd be in chronological order of the order they were blocked? No. It's just a hodgepodge jumble of profiles. And over like, I don't know, the 9 or 10 years that I've had my channel, I think there's like maybe 300 or 400 blocked profiles. That includes all blocked profiles, like the spam accounts and all the bullshit and the garbage. And I have to manually go through and look for the blocked profile. And sometimes I'll look through this list 4 times and be sure that it's not on there. And yet the 5th time I find it. It's a real pain in the ass. So my apologies, Pentecostal bubble. I'm sure your husband's emailed me about this. That's why I'm bringing up the comment, is to try to not forget to go back and do it. So thank you. Sandy Hill says, I'm late, but congratulations. Did anyone ask if they have PayPal to donate? Sandy, I haven't experimented with it. My understanding is that the Stripe payment platform basically allows you to pay with anything, but I don't know because I haven't tried everything. So I would like, oh yeah, I intended to go before we did like the official announcement. I intended to make sure, sorry guys, I'm getting all phlegmy because I've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes. Hold on. I wanted to set up like a dedicated foundation PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and I haven't. And yet I'm now wondering, if you go to the payment page, does it give you the option to donate with PayPal? Check it out. Sandy, try it. If it doesn't, shoot me an email. If it doesn't work for PayPal, then I know it doesn't work for Venmo, and I know it doesn't work for the Cash App. And so that will remind me of the other things I need to finalize. Thank you for that. Skyrider 140. This business model is brilliant. Thank you for your ADHD. That's great. Just a girl and her cat. I think there's a group called JW.support to help Jehovah's Witnesses escaping, and ex-Mormon support for those leaving the Mormon church. Great. I hope there is. All right. I'm back. Yes, every now and then, it's been a long time since I've accidentally kicked myself out of my own live stream, but every now and then it does, you guys. That is the downside to doing my live streaming with a MacBook and a trackpad that I'm constantly using the trackpad to scroll up and down on the live chat. And every now and then, if my fingers go to the right instead of up, it kicks me out of StreamYard. But thank God the live stream doesn't actually end. But I was just about to end it. But let's see. I wanted to take one more look and make sure I hadn't missed a couple of these. Nope. I think we got it all. This has been great, you guys. Like I said, the improvements and the updates and the revisions to the website will all occur within the next day or 2. And if not in the next day or 2, maybe in 3. And if not in 3, maybe in 4, but probably tomorrow. All right, guys, this has been fun. Guys, you're going to be hearing about this on at least a dozen channels, maybe 20 channels, because there's tons of people on SPTV who aren't board members, and those people are going to be talking about the foundation as well. So I hope you don't get sick of it. We promise not to be talking about it all the time, just some of the time, maybe a lot of the time, not all the time. And we'll be happy to share as much good news with you guys as we can, as there is good news to share. But remember, just like has always been the case with the Aftermath Foundation, the people who are being helped privately. It is up to those people to choose if and when they want to even talk about it at all. Never will be a requirement. And that's just the way it is. Thanks for hanging out with me this evening. Thank you, as always, to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.